Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And if you don't know already, my channel is about building our businesses, having multiple side hustles, and also self-care. As you can already tell by the thumbnail, today's video is going to be about the side hustle that led me to make $20,000 in 4 months. So I'm going to be sharing with you my top 5 tips of how to have a successful and profitable side hustle. So stay tuned. So my first tip is to make sure you actually pick something that you love to do. I'm going to start this video off with the backstory about how I chose that side hustle and how it came about. So I used to love to cook, and with my dinners, I used to always make a dessert with it. So on that particular night, I was searching different recipes on Pinterest, and I was just trying to find something creative that I hadn't done before. And I came across the strawberry shortcake. So I decided to put my own unique twist to it. I did a Neapolitan 3-layer cake that had chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. And I created my own cake design that added strawberries around the top and around the bottom perimeter just to give it its own little flair. And I was actually trying to impress the boyfriend that I had at the time. So when he came home for dinner and he saw the cake, he was real excited and he wanted to post it. So I'm like, sure, go ahead. He posted it on his Facebook and they got so many comments. He got a lot of people asking how they could get the cake, if it was for sale, can they have a slice? And from there, I decided that I was gonna make the cakes on the weekend. And that first weekend I made the cake, I made an extra $400. So, and from there, I had started making the cakes just on a weekend basis to where by the second week, I had so many cake orders to where I started making them every day. And at first, I didn't mind it at all because it was something that I really liked to do. So it didn't bother me. It didn't bother me that I was staying up late, waking up early, because I was happy to be baking. So that is why I say make sure you choose something that you love. My second tip is to make sure you choose a side hustle that's actually profitable. And I feel like this is where a lot of people go wrong. They pick side hustles to where they want to make them extremely fancy, extremely cute for social media, when the main thing you should be focusing on is making sure you have a good product and also that your product is profitable. So with me, I was going to be mass producing the same cake. So I already knew I was going to be getting the exact same supplies every single time to where I was able to stock up. And then I was able to break it down to figure out how much it costs to make a cake and how much I was going to sell it for. Overall, it cost me $7 for all of the cake supplies, including the cake container that I was putting the cakes in at the time. And I was selling it for $35, which gave me a $28 profit per cake. So for me, just seeing that $28 profit, like each time I knew I had to just sell 4 cakes and that was going to be $100. So I always had that number in my head and I was just going from there. My third tip is to make sure you share your side hustle with the world. So, and sharing it with the world can be you sharing it on social media, sharing it with your family and friends in person, or also sharing it with your coworkers at work. One of the things that really worked out for me was sharing it on social media. One day I had 12 cake orders. So before I gave everyone their cakes, what I did was I lined the cakes up on the table, made a cute presentation, and I took a picture from my Facebook. And that's where I made my main ad to let people know that I was going to be having cakes available all the time. And even with social media, so my cake design was really unique that a lot of people haven't seen that exact design before. So when they got their cakes, they were excited. One, they were excited to see them. And 2, they were excited to post about it. So I ended up getting a lot of orders from people posting the cake on their social media and their friends and family asking them where they got the cake and seeing if they could actually try a piece so they can order their own cake. My fourth tip is to make sure you set a goal. So I'm one of those people to where I'm really goal oriented. So I would set a goal for pretty much everything. So I know with my cake hustle, the 20,000 in 4 months came from me starting in April and knowing that my 25th birthday was going to be in July. And for my 25th birthday, I wanted to buy a Mercedes. Because it was around the time that I had already needed a new car, but I just needed the extra money to make sure that I got the car that I wanted. So I set that goal, and every weekend when I was making my cakes on the weekdays, I already knew like, okay, you're not doing this for nothing. You're going to make sure you're driving off the lot with that car on your 25th birthday. So that right there alone just kept me driven to keep doing it. And then it was something that I really liked to do, so I didn't mind it. My fifth tip is to make sure you stay focused. And this one is very important because we all get sidetracked from our goals at times. Once you get into whatever mode you need to be in to where you're like, okay, this is the goal I'm trying to hit, it makes it so much easier for you to stay focused on it. Because I know for me, some of the things I want to stay focused on was making sure I was on top of my supplies, making sure that there weren't any price changes with them, making sure I was still making a good profit. I was making sure my customers were satisfied with my orders. I was staying on top of my calendar to make sure everyone got their cake on time. And also I was just keeping track of how much I was spending per month, how much I was making per month, and just how close I was to my actual goal. So for me, I had reached my goal by the middle of July, and I just was making sure I was keeping that momentum going just until I got the car. Once my 25th birthday rolled around and I had my car and I was driving off the lot in my Mercedes, like after that, I pretty much stopped doing the cakes just cold turkey. I no longer had the goal. It wasn't anything big that I was saving for anymore. And to be honest, I was really burnt out at that point. After 3 months of doing it nonstop, I was just burnt out. Cakes had became my whole life. And one thing I would say is when you have a side hustle, make sure you take your time with it. Like if you're not in a rush for anything, you don't have any big short-term goals. Like if it's just something that you can make sure you keep going, then I would say go for that versus trying to make a lot of money in a short period of time. Cause I feel like that, like for me, like that's where it really started taking a toll on me. I started gaining weight. It became bad. So that's the only thing I wanted to just add at the end of it, just to let you guys know the side effects that I experienced from it. But overall, it was a good experience, good side hustle to have. So I hope you've enjoyed this video today. Make sure you give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you have any successful side hustle tips, drop them in the comment section below. Or if you also have some side hustles that are easy to start and very profitable that you wouldn't mind sharing with the audience, make sure you drop those in the comment section below. And don't forget to stay tuned for the next video. Thank you.